What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is Insecure season 4, episode 5. So listen, we are here. The block party is upon us, and I'm really glad they didn't drag the block party out. Like, I wasn't sure if we were going to just keep leading up to the block party, and then the last episode would be the block party, and then we would find out what happened between Issa and Molly, and then they would just leave us there. So the block party is here. It's the night before. Issa can't sleep. We all know that feeling the night before a big thing, a big event, you not being able to sleep. And so she's scrolling Instagram, which is, nowadays what we do when we're bored. We scroll social media, and she see that Nate is still up. He's posting or making comments or whatever it is they doing. And she and she sends him a DM, and he immediately responds. And so, she's like, "What you doing up?" He was like, "I can't sleep." She was like, "Me either." He was like, "You want to talk?" And so she calls him, and they talk. And she was like, "Yo, thank you for the help, for all your help." He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "So, am I gonna be able to get into this thing, or am I gonna be standing in line like everybody else? I did give you the idea." And so you see that they sort of have a comfortable banter. It's still a little awkward, but not totally like, why you on my line type stuff. So then, we get to the event. Issa's, she's got her event. She's in stealth mode, right? She's got the vendors. She got people coming up to her. She is problem solving. We found out that she even has an assistant, honey. She's got an executive assistant or an intern, depending on who you ask. And she looks up and she sees Condola. Now Condola looks good. That little white outfit Condola had on was beautiful. She walks up to Condola and she's kind of like, "Hey." She was like, "Hi." She was like, "I didn't expect you to be here." And she was like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna come." So Issa was like, "Well, did I do something wrong? Cause like, what happened?" Like, and she said, "Oh, Lawrence didn't tell you." And she was like, "Tell me what?" "Well, we broke up." And Issa was like, genuinely like, "I didn't know." And I think in that moment, Condola felt a little silly, because then she was just kind of like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry I kind of ghosted on you. I just came here to check on the vendors, but everything looks really good. Like, you really did a good job." So I think Condola then feels a little silly, because it's kind of like, why are you punishing Issa? She didn't have shit to do with it. Like, she had nothing to do with her, with the situation with Lawrence. So, like, why are you punishing her? And so, I don't know. I feel like she feels a little silly about it, but then maybe not so much. But anyway, child. So then we see Kelly, Tiffany, and Tiffany's husband have arrived, honey. Tiffany is just happy to be away from the baby, and the husband said he is sleep deprived. He's snapping at people. They are taking. Kelly is in front of the pictures, taking all the pictures. And her thing was, when they were like, "Kelly, you just can't stand here and take 5,000 pictures," and she was like, "Ain't nobody else here." Issa was like, "I can hear you." So, the whole day Issa is worried about staying professional while still, being personable with people. So they were like, "Girl, come up here and take a picture." And she was like, "I can't take no picture. I can't." And she was like, "All right, maybe just a few." And so, they do just like good girlfriends, they got okay, we're gonna do the funny one, the sexy one, then we're gonna do the jail prison picture. And everybody knows those poses. Like, everybody knows those poses. I'm always, if you find 20 pictures of me before the age of 30, none of the pictures will I be standing up. My pose was the kneel down in front. That was my pose. That was, you will not find a picture. So everybody knows that in any picture, group picture of me and my friends, prior to the age of 30, when my knees probably started saying, "Bitch," I'm, okay, that was my pose. Anyway, um, so then we see Molly and Andrew. Andrew is ready to go to the block party. Molly is complaining, like, "I don't know what to wear." I mean, who goes, what do you wear to a block party in January? Andrew was like, "In LA, the same thing it's 80 degrees outside. Like, the same thing you would wear in July. Like, she was like, "It's 78 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. I ain't trying to get sick." He was like, "What?" He said, "You know what? Cool, then don't go." "No, I mean, I gotta go." "Okay, well, then what we talking about?" Now, let me rewind a little bit. When Issa was talking to Nathan, part of their conversation, he was saying, "Yeah, I got the house to myself because Andrew is at your girl house tonight." And she was like, "She ain't my girl." And Andrew was like, Where, like, what's going on with that?" And, you know, she was like, I don't know, like, I just don't fuck with her no more. And you like, oh shit, right? Like, okay, so you realize that they have not really been speaking, because Molly even made a comment about when I won, you know, that last case that she was working on, and I had my celebration dinner, she didn't even show up, you know. So you could see that they really aren't, they just not vibing. They're just not, they're just not. Kelly, okay, we back to the event. Kelly has a date, and the dude, when she met the dude, she had a British accent. So now that they've been kicking it, she got to hold on to it. So she is doing her British accent. Issa brother shows up, and you know that her and him do not see it for each other. And so he speaks to everybody and does not speak to Kelly. So Kelly was like, hello. He was like, yeah, I saw you there. I just didn't. Yeah, I saw you. Like, I didn't speak on purpose. Then he is clowning her when she's standing there in her British accent talking to old boy, right? So he's going to say, so what part of England are you from? And so, of course, Kelly made up something that said something about Benny Hill. And here's what was funny. I was watching Insecure with my niece, right? I immediately got the Benny Hill joke. She was like, what? Benny Hill? And I was like, oh, my God. Like, you have to be of a certain age to get the Benny Hill reference. So then he asked her about Brexit. So she was like, oh, Brexit is so boring. She said, I would much rather learn about your government. So why do talk about something? We have two branches of government. We have the presidential branch, and then we have the banking branch, which is run by the Bank of America. Baby. I like to die. Okay. I fell out. Like I did. I fell out. Okay. It was hilarious. Cause then Kelly really wanted to break, because at that point she realized how dumb he was. But she can't. And of course, Issa's brother is just entertaining it. I mean, he is just getting more and more into it, because it's like, oh, tell me more about our government, right? Um, they get a phone. Tiffany and the hubby get a phone call from the babysitter. The baby won't stop crying. Hubby tells Tiffany, look, we gotta go. She was like, can't you go? Because I'm having a good time. It's been a long time since I've been out. Like, do I have to go? So he leaves her there, and she was like, oh, he's such a good hubby. But in my mind, I'm thinking, he ain't going to be a good hubby for long, boo. You better get it together, honey. You better get it together. So then we see Molly and Andrew chilling, enjoying the sights. Everything is everything. He's trying to let Molly know, like, look, your girl did a good job. Like, y'all need to go ahead and just, go talk, figure it out, whatever. So the main attraction finally shows up. Issa goes in the back to talk to him, honey. We have a guest appearance from the neighbor from the couch, Mr. Bouch. I forget his name, but the one that won't use a C word, because he blood, and he can only, and so he in VIP. Issa was like, so how you get the VIP? He was like, because I know everybody. She was like, you just know everybody. He was like, yeah, they go Bobby, they go Billy, they go Bobby with an I, Bobby with a Y, they brothers. I was like, she said, you just made up all of that. It was hilarious. So then Nathan shows up, and of course they have that awkward hug that, the person that didn't show up was Lawrence. Lawrence was not there. MIA, not to be seen. And so they had a moment, but it was cool. They didn't belabor the point. The day falls into night, the crowd picks up, and by nighttime they have a full house. It looks really nice. The DJ has everybody ready for the main attraction, who is an artist that I'm not familiar with. Sorry, I'm not that hip. But we did see some SZA, we saw some Sir, we saw a few little odds and ends of people, making some appearances that, I'm a little hip, right? Then they play the wobble. Well, who can resist the wobble? And Issa's assistant, let me rewind. I'm sorry. So, Condola actually was the one that got Issa the interns. So, on one hand, I feel like she left Issa hanging, but then she made sure Issa was okay. Like, she did get her some, like, she was like, look, I ain't gonna be there no more. I can't do it, but I'm not gonna leave her totally high and dry. So, I give her credit for that she did make sure that Issa had, the interns and stuff. So they're doing the wobble, and throughout, at first Issa didn't want to do the wobble. Then her intern was like, girl, you can't resist, you gotta wobble. And so by the time, you know how the wobble works, and Molly go tell Andrew, let me school you. Andrew was like, let me school you. And yes, Andrew knows how to wobble, okay? So somehow or another, they ended up basically next to each other wobbling. Earlier in the day, Molly had tried to bring Issa some food, and they had a really awkward conversation. And then that's when Issa had to go and meet up with the main attraction. And yeah, and so they sort of had a moment where they kind of made eyes and they were just laughing at each other, and they were sort of back in Molly and Issa mode while they were wobbling or whatever. So everything is over. The night, I mean, it's over. The main attraction, he's performed and he's leaving, and come to find out that his management knows Andrew. So he comes up to Andrew, and they dapping each other up, and he's like, "Yo, thanks again for the hookup. Like, I really appreciate it. Good looking out." So Molly is like, "What you talking about, Willis? What hookup?" And he was like, "Oh, well, Nathan asked me, if I could get in touch with him and see if he could perform." And Molly was like, "So wait a minute. So Issa asked Nathan to help, and Nathan asked you, and you helped her behind my back?" And he was like, "Wait a minute, I ain't trying to cause no problems. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't see the problem." So Molly immediately goes to confront Issa. And Issa was like, "What are you talking about? Like, you told me no. I found another way to make it happen." And she was like, "Yeah, but you still included my man, and I thought I made it very clear that I didn't want to blur those lines. I was trying to set boundaries." And Issa was like, "Yeah, but I didn't use you to get to him. I used my other resources to ask him. And so I don't understand what the problem is." And so, of course, this erupted into a whole fight. And now they're saying everything that they should have been saying to each other for the last couple of months. Molly called Issa selfish. Issa called Molly, I don't forgot what she called Molly. Then Molly told Issa that she's a liar. And Issa was like, "But you knew how much this meant to me. Like, I asked you for one little favor, and I'm not understanding what the issue is. Like, you saw me struggling. You told me to get my shit together. I'm finally trying to get my shit together, and I don't understand why you couldn't do me one little favor." Molly was like, "You all it ever is with you is one little favor. Like, you always need a favor." And it just got really ugly to the point where they damn near were in each other's face about to go to blows. Like, I felt like in 2 more seconds they was getting ready to go to blows. At that moment, Kelly yells gun, or somebody yells gun. Everybody goes running. The event was over anyway, so it wasn't like it ruined her event. It just wasn't a nice ending to the day. However, a part of me feels like Kelly did that on purpose because she knew what was about to go down. Because I never saw a gunshot. We never heard a gunshot. Never saw nothing else. We just saw people running. So, you see Issa's brother, like, "Can I give you a ride home?" She was like, "No, I'm good." You see them talking to Molly, and basically they telling everybody, "Look, just chill out. Y'all can talk this out, later." And Andrew tells Molly, like, "Look, I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't trying to start I didn't want to be the cause of a problem between you and your best friend. Like, that's not what I wanted. So I'm sorry for my part in all of this." And of course, she was like, "No, it's not your fault. No, don't worry about it." So, child. We'll see what happens next week, honey. Tell me what you think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.